good morning, good afternoon or good evening at any time you are seeing my video. So in this video we are going to cover that how can we actually score above 90% in class 12 board exam. It's a very important target and most of the students actually try to study hard for class 12 boards, but even though they score less than 90%, so it's very heartbreaking for most of the 12 board aspirant. So the complete video will be based upon the same topic and I am going to start the discussion. So let's get started. Now, as I had already told you, one of the most important thing that you have to give the board examination which are actually authorized by the university of your state or central government after the completion of class 12 in the month of February to March. So it's very important exam that you have to pass. Okay. Now if I talk about the students belonging from the science stream, then after the completion of class 10 they either move into the PCB category or PCM category. That is, the student in science stream got divided into the PCB and PCM, that is medical and non-medical fields respectively. The students from non-medical fields are especially said to be the engineers. So you are understanding that the students from science category got divided into these two groups. Now it's very important for you to remember, for example, you are in class 11 and you are actually thinking that what will happen in my board exam, how much percentage did I will obtain in future. So don't think about this thing, because it's very easy to score above 90% in class 12th board. It is not necessary for you to actually start preparation for class 12 board from the class 11th. Your primary focus must be always competitive examination like NEET and JEE, because you have to remember that there is no any future scope of scoring good marks in class 12 board. But even though if you are scoring 90% and 90% above, then there are some important institutes that you have to actually refer in nearby future for giving interview, and at that time the organizer of interview will actually tell you to give your class 12 board exam certificate. So obviously by seeing percentage he will understand your cleverity. So yes, there are some uses in life for class 12 board certificate and percentage, but obviously you have to remember that these percentage will not determine your future, that in which field did you will enter. Okay, for example, you will not get admission in NEET or you will not get admission in MBBS by scoring above 90%. You will not get admission in IIT by scoring 95% in class 12. Okay, so it's a point of difference that you have to understand. So your primary focus must always be your competitive exam and not the class 12 boards. Okay, now if you are preparing genuinely for your competitive exam, whether it is either IIT, JEE or NEET, then don't worry about anything. It's a very important thing, because you have to only learn and read about what will be the expected question that will ask in your competitive exam. If you do study genuinely for the entrance, then automatically you will score good marks in your class 12 boards. Okay, because as I had already told you that there is slight difference in between the question level which are actually asked in IIT, JEE or NEET and class 12 board. Actually the board examination is of subjective type, therefore the question of slightly lower level are asked in this exam, because 12th exam is all about your writing skill and vocabulary. If I talk about entrance exam, so it's all about your verbal memory and about your logical reasoning. So it is a main point of difference that you have to understand. Now our next topic is how to actually score 90% and above in class 12. So as I had already told you, if you are in class 11, then it is not necessary for you to worry about anything. Now if you are in class 12, then also it is not necessary for you to worry about anything. Okay, now you have to actually come on your excited state just 2 months before the exam. Okay, if you come on your original state, or if you come on your serious state just 2 months before the board exam, then you have to remember that you can easily score 90%. Okay, but for that remember your class 11 must be fully completed, your class 11 concept must be fully strong. Okay, then only you can score above 90% in boards. Okay, now I don't feel that it is necessary for you to actually complete the class 11 by the theoretical point of view, because the annual examination in class 11 is conducted by school or college itself. So if you are scoring less than 90% in annual exam of class 11, then also it doesn't matter. You have to keep your primary focus on class 12 boards and in entrance. Okay, now for scoring good marks in class 12 boards, your study must be good. That is, you must be have each and every concept cleared in your mind. Okay, if you are preparing genuinely for entrance exam, then automatically you will score 90% or above. Okay, but what is actually the main difference in between the entrance exam and class 12 board exam? Entrance exam, whether it is either a JEE or NEET, is actually completely objective in nature. That is, there will be one question, and for that particular one question you will be provided with 4 choices, and you have to choose only one correct option in NEET. And basically in JEE also there are many questions which actually have only single correct choice, but obviously there are some questions in which you have to choose more than one option, so it will be actually given in your question. Don't worry about that. I am talking about JEE. Multiple correct choice answer are always asking JEE and not in NEET, so you have to remember that. So we will continue and proceed our discussion. So we were discussing about class 12 board. So what is the difference? Yes, I come back on my original state. I have remembered that on which topic did we have taken a pause. So we will continue our topic. So the second point is to be remembered that in case of competitive exam, you have to develop logical memory. You have to not develop your verbal memory. Whereas if I talk about class 12 board, so these are completely theoretical. You must require theoretical knowledge, and you must have a mind that how can we express anything in our own words. So as I had already told you that if you have a hobby to write down and express anything in own language, then I feel that class 12 boards are not very difficult for you to crack. Okay, or I can say class 12 boards are not difficult for you. Okay, now for example, there are 2 months left behind for your class 12 board exam. Now in these 2 months, what you have to do, you have to revise each and every chapter from each and every subject, whether it is either physics, chemistry, biology or mathematics. Now there are only no 3 subjects in class 12 boards. There are additional 2 subjects in most of the cases if you have taken either PCB or PCM. In case of PCB student, these 2 extra subjects are English, and second is either freshwater fish culture or IT, that is information technology. In case of PCM students, these 2 subjects are your mathematics and IT. It's very important. Now here one of the most important things to be remembered that how to actually prepare for these 2 subjects, because we already got prepared for PCB for medical student and PCM for engineering student, but how to deal with English, freshwater fish culture and IT, it's a very important question that is coming in your mind now. So don't worry about anything. If you are capable of writing anything in your own words, then you can prepare answers of all those questions that will be asked in your English paper, because you are actually expressing anything in your own words. So your English is already strong, so it is not necessary for you to prepare again for English separately. Also, I have to tell you one of the most important thing that as you have already studied the grammar from basics, that is, I have to tell you that in class 12 board exam, the grammar in English section comes very basic. It is actually asked from class 8, class 9 and class 10. So if you have already prepared grammar or basic grammar actually, then you can deal with that also. So it is not necessary for you to worry about anything. If I talk about class 12th Maharashtra board English textbook, so there is a last section given and it is called as novels. There are 4 novels given to you. Only those students who actually belongs from HSC board, that is from Maharashtra board, can understand that. If you are from CBSE board, I feel that there is no any such thing given. But for HSC board student, you have given a 1 unit at the end, and that unit is novel. There are 4 novels given to you, and you have to remember that in main exam there is no given a passage or extract from this unit. Whole unit actually comes theoretical, and hence it is necessary for you to memorize something. So what you have to do, in this 2 months you have to learn each and every line from these 4 novels. That is, you have to learn these 4 novels, because no any textual passage will come from this unit, and this unit carries about 16 marks. So if you are skipping this unit, so you will lose your 16 marks. If you are covering this unit, then you can actually take this 16 marks from examiner. Okay. Now if I talk about freshwater fish culture, so don't worry about anything. If you are PCB student, so you had already covered biology. There is too much similarity in between biology and freshwater fish culture. Yes, there are some new techniques that you have to study, that how to rear fish, and there are different techniques that you have to study. But don't worry about this thing also. Okay, please go on YouTube and search freshwater fish culture, the name of a chapter, in one shot. You can cover each and everything. So I feel that if your biology is strong, then learning and reading about freshwater fish culture is also not a difficult task for you. For those students who had chosen IT, that is information technology, this subject is also very good. You have to actually write down the name of a subject or the name of a chapter that you have to study on YouTube, and you have to search that particular thing. You will automatically get a one shot video, and you have to cover each and everything there, because you come to know that the questions are not asked deeply in class 12 board. The questions are asked superficially, so it will be a very good thing for you, and you have to cover all the chapters in one shot. Don't worry about anything. Now you have to remember, the students choosing either freshwater fish culture or IT are very intelligent, or I can say they are very blissful by the gods. Why? Because they obtain 100 marks from school in extra. Are you getting my point? They obtain 100 marks in cheap, that is, they have to not do anything for that. The school teacher, or I can say the principal, give you these 100 marks without anything. That is, you can say that it's actually the grace marking that they obtain. So it's a very good benefit that the students choosing either freshwater fish culture or IT, that is information technology, obtains. Okay, now if I talk about the physics, chemistry and biology, or physics, chemistry and mathematics, so as I had already told you, it is necessary for you to cover up your syllabus before class 12 boards. And as I had already told you, in order to score good percentage in class 12, try to revise these three subjects, because most of the students feel overconfident and they always say that we are actually preparing for competitive exam or for entrance exam. Hence these three subjects will be already strong. Hence it is not necessary for us to revise these three subjects. But it is absolutely wrong. Class 12 board exam level is not too much low as you are thinking. It is moderate. It is not too much hard, but it is not actually like your level. Okay, it is also very high. So in class 12 board exam, if you are from medical field, then you have to try to learn the derivations of physics. I am not talking about those students who are from engineering field, because they already have a habit to learn derivations, because there are many derivations that PCM students carry out in mathematics. I am talking about the students in medical field especially, because they don't like to learn derivation, but derivations are very important, and most of the questions from physics board exam is coming from that particular topic. So please prepare for that. You have to learn each and every derivation from class 12 chapters in physics. If I talk about chemistry, you have to learn reaction mechanism of each and every reaction from organic chemistry. Not only that, in inorganic chemistry, it is necessary for you to learn the whole periodic table, and from the physical chemistry, it is necessary for you to actually learn a very most important and most demanded derivation, that is Schrodinger's wave equation. That is how the Schrodinger's wave equation is obtained, because this question have been asked in previous board exam paper, and as I already told you that physics and chemistry board exam paper are same for both students, whether they are from medical field or from the non-medical field. So the students from non-medical field can easily deduce Schrodinger's wave equation, because they already got familiar with that particular concept, because there is too much similarity in between Schrodinger's wave equation and modern mathematics. But if I talk about the students from medical field, they don't try to prefer and they don't like to learn the derivation of Schrodinger's wave equation. Okay, so it's a problem, but for those students I will tell you that please learn that derivation for class 12 boards. Okay, now as I had already told you, if I talk about biology, so it is very important for you to learn important diagrams with labeling, and for the students who are actually preparing for JEE, so you have to actually keep your primary focus on mathematics, because mathematics is very important subject. I have experience, actually I myself belong from non-medical field. It is wrong, sorry. I myself belong from medical field. I am not from non-medical field. Okay, so I have no too much experience about mathematics, but I can say that I actually score about 95 marks out of 100 in my class 10 board mathematics paper in both algebra plus geometry. Therefore from that experience I can guide you that what you have to do in mathematics, that don't worry, because mathematics in board is quite difficult to write, because you have to also explain that why you are using that particular formula. So it is very time consuming process, because you have to solve each and every question in step by step manner, and that consumes most of the time, and hence the chances of making a paper incomplete increases, and hence the student can't able to score good in mathematics. So you have to try that how can we actually solve the question in a stepwise manner, and how we can write final answer. Remember that in mathematics it is necessary for you, or it is mandatory for you, to write down final answer along with the main question, and after that it is necessary for you to give a pencil label boxing to that particular final answer. Then only the possibility of getting full marks for a particular question increases. So actually I am telling you all those things according to my experience, that I actually experienced in my class 10 board exam. Therefore I have scored 95 marks out of 100 in my mathematics paper. But I dropped mathematics because it was my weak subject. I belong from medical field, I am not from non-medical field, but even though I am telling you according to my past experiences. So in this way you can score good marks or good percentage in class 12 board exam. Furthermore, in the next part of this video, I will discuss with you in detail about how to develop a skill of writing anything in our own words. It's very important in class 12 board exam, because you cannot actually go by mug upping each and everything, because you are preparing for competitive exam. Therefore it must be your habit, it must be your hobby along with habit, to write down and express anything in your own word, so that you can score easily in your class 12 boards. Okay, so cracking and scoring above 90% in class 12 board is not difficult, but your writing style is mandatory for that. Okay, class 12 board examiner will not ask you that how much knowledge do you have. They only check your writing style, and they only check that how you write the answer to the particular question. Okay, because if you are writing only 2 to 3 lines for a answer, then the possibility of scoring out of marks for that particular question decreases. So in boards, what you have to do, you have to increase the length of answer, because it will help you. And for that it is necessary for you to also remember the time, because most of the students actually keep board paper incomplete, and as a result of this they score very bad marks. So it's also reason. If I have to go put my self, then obviously I will not tell you the class 12 board exam percentage that I have scored. If you are really interested in knowing my marks, then please ask me this question in comment box, because in my last video I had already told you my NEET marks, so don't worry about that. And in that video also I had already told you that if you are interested in knowing my NEET marks, then you can ask me the question in comment box. In the same way, if you are interested in knowing my class 12 board exam marks, then you can drop out that question in comment box. I will definitely like to reply, but I will not like to actually spread this information publicly. So you are understanding what it I mean. Actually I don't score above 90%. My percentage lies in between 80 to 90. Now why does this happen, I will share with you in my next video, because I actually literally will not believe on me, but I actually prepare for class 12 board exam day before. That is, for example, there is an exam or there is a class 12 board paper tomorrow, but I am actually revising these all the things today. So this was my condition. So literally I scored good marks according to me, because my preparation was actually very worst. That is, I was feeling that I will score less than 60% in class 12, but even though I score good marks, my marks or percentage lies in between 80 and 90. But if you are interested in knowing my class 12 board marks, then you can actually drop out that question in the comment box. I will definitely like to reply. Okay, so literally you will got shocked. I will share you this story that how I prepare for class 12 board in my next video. So it will be my next content, and I had already shared with you the name of a content on the basis of which I will make my next video. So till then I know and I understand that you are understanding my strategies, tips and strategy, each and everything that I use in order to score good marks in class 12 board and in NEET exam. So till then you have understood that what is your duty, or which is your duty. Your duty is actually to only subscribe my YouTube channel. If you like my video, then you can share that particular video with your friends, because if you are in class 12 now, then it is very important for you to keep your focus not only on boards but also on the competitive exam, because you are understanding now there are only few months for your boards. No, there are actually too many months. Yes, there are about 8 to 9 months for your boards, but you will never understand that how these 8 to 9 months pass away if you are not studying. Okay, so please be serious, because next year you have to give your entrance exam, which may be either NEET for medical students and JEE for the non-medical student. But class 12 board is mandatory exam for both of these two categories of students. So best of luck everybody, my blessings are always with you, and I know that you will perform well in your class 12 boards. So till then, okay, bye bye, meet you in our next video. Please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Okay, love you all, bye.